Last Wednesday, I cried. I sat on a bench by the water in Stockholm and cried. I'm 38, but I felt like 13. People came up to me to ask what had happened, but I couldn't really reply. I couldn't explain. I was happy and extremely confused. I was lost, excited, ecstatic, and very sad all at once. I had just had 5,000 people on my online guided tour, and that after weeks of cancellations and despair. I tried to imagine this crowd all standing, listening to me. Wow, I wonder what people on the streets thought I was doing. Walking with my phone, showing the city to a couple of friends, or maybe they just thought I was crazy. Who am I? I'm a guide, a freelance tour guide. That crazy person that walks outdoors, sun or rain, tells people stories. My job is 95% dependent on tourism and open borders. In March 2020, the borders were closed. And I was in complete disbelief. I was paralyzed and shocked, overwhelmed by negativity, scrolling the news all days long. My life, my job, everything depends on people traveling, and now they stopped. Am I unemployed now? Will I get depressed? Should I go and start looking for a different job in a different industry? Will people ever travel again? But I actually was crying because I felt that happiness high when I get to do what I love most, talking about Stockholm. I was deprived of it for weeks now, and then I decided to fight. I took my job that I already have and decided to go creative and make it more flexible and adapt it to the new world. I started investing time in my blog, and I thought constantly about my audience. What do they want now? All those people that are used to traveling and now they're staying at home. Would they appreciate an online guided experience? And that's how I started walking on the streets of Stockholm and streaming my stories. The tours are free to join, and I got a lot of engagement and support. All right, I thought, is this how my job will look like from now on? The feedback from my online tours was amazing. Hundreds of people were watching, many wanted to pay. I got encouraging comments, empowering replies. A whole new world was opening up for me and a whole new audience. A lot of people that would never think of traveling to Sweden were joining my online tours. Why have I never thought about this before? Did you know that internet access is more common than owning a passport? There are so many people that will never travel, but now they can book a safari boat ride online in Africa. And all those physical disabilities that would normally prevent you from traveling are completely irrelevant. You can book a bike tour online with a broken leg. There are a lot of advantages with online tours. It's cheap, no travel costs, it's accessible from your sofa, it's time-saving. And often you get to see things that you wouldn't see otherwise. Museums are streaming from their conservation labs and other spaces that are not accessible to the public. On my online tours, we go to some courtyards where groups are not allowed. Is this how people will travel from now on? I mean, Airbnb has started with online experiences. Will people get back to the regular travel? Will they travel as they did before when the borders reopen? Is this online trend just a trend, or is it a new and booming industry? I believe the latter. I believe that the online trend will grow even stronger after the borders reopen. But it's in no way a substitute for real travel. When I guide online, I feel that a lot is missing. You don't smell the coffee, you don't feel the smell of cinnamon, you don't feel the Nordic wind on your cheeks, you can't feed the seagulls. You only use your eyes, partly your ears. What about the rest of your senses? Online tours are indeed a new and booming industry, but it's not a replacement for real-life travel, rather a complement. When you plan your real travel online, you book several online experiences and then you decide which destination you want to go and research deeper. You book different online tours and then you choose your private guide based on which one you liked more. You book a mountain hiking online tour and then you feel that you want to have even more of it. So the online experience takes your research on a whole new level. So the online is a great starter, but it's not a main course. Travel is a story. We are human beings. We want to connect, to feel the community, to experience new settings. Therefore, I believe we will continue to travel. Maybe not as frequent as we did before, but nothing can stop a human being from being curious, from wanting to see the world with his own eyes. So I believe that this online experience will change our attitude to the real travel, and hopefully we will opt for slow travel. Now, the slow travel concept is not new. We're talking about it for a decade now. Fast travel, when you have short time, a city and the checklist of must-sees, a quick and shallow visit. Slow travel is a much more mindful and deep immersion into a city, a country, a culture. Just like with fast food, everyone knows what it is. Quick, cheap, often tasteless. Slow food, on the other hand, is when you cook from scratch, share the meal with your loved ones, savor every beat, enjoy every moment. A slow traveler will probably take more time to explore the city. He or she will not rush to the next museum just because the guidebook told them so. Do they have to go to that museum? Maybe they just want to go through the park instead of following this checklist of the must-sees. Maybe they just want to hang out with the locals or sit in a cafe off the beaten track all day long. A slow traveler listens to himself, chooses his own experience, absorbs. He probably chooses quality over quantity. Slow travel takes us back to the roots of why we travel, embrace new community, new experiences, new acquaintances. So, the online tourism is here to stay. The real-life travel goes nowhere. It will be boosted by the online. And am I crazy to believe that it hopefully will become more meaningful and deep? I also noticed that a lot of locals started showing up for my online tours, and the feedback I get is that they would never think of traveling, touristing in their own city, if not for my online tours. They add that they wait for this corona time to be over so they can join my real-life tours. Do you see what's happening? A whole new audience is showing itself. Locals are more and more interested in destinations close to their homes. Partly it's boosted by the pandemic, as most of us will spend this summer in our country. But the online experience gives them options, exposes them to new ideas, and gives this so needed boost for their local tourism. We are changing our view on travel. These three trends, the online, slow travel, local tourism, and nothing new. We're talking about flying less, traveling more meaningful for like a decade now. Video blogs from different countries were there for like 20 years. And most of the countries have some kind of local tourism. But this shift is happening more rapidly now, partly catalyzed by the pandemic, and by new technologies. We're getting this push to reassess our values. And it's too early to see the actual outcome, but I have this strong belief that we are moving in this positive direction of sustainable travel. A win-win for us, for the planet, and for the world's economy. Am I crazy?